Welcome back to the channel. Mopar Man here. Update on the 2007 Chevy Silverado exhaust issue with the Cherry Bomb Vortex muffler. Sent an email a few days back, got an email yesterday and responded, and then I got an email this morning and I responded back. Basically, I'll kind of give you an update. The truck did have all this exhaust pipe. It has there's a section missing, about a 14-inch section of elbow that's missing that I had on there before, that kind of helped go over the top of the rear end. And then it was cut off from this. And what was weird is while this was on the truck, this went all the way out to the back, and we had drone with the muffler going down the highway and kind of idling a little bit. But since I cut this pipe off and used the elbow as a turn down, I'll show you real quick. Okay, as you can see, I did a turn down right into the back of the muffler, and then from there it's all factory exhaust all the way up to the catalytic converters. It's got that high flow factory single exhaust. This cut out the drone. Now you just have the sound of the exhaust. I don't think we put anywhere near 1,000 miles on the muffler yet, but it has changed the tone a little bit. Because it's a daily driver, I drive it back and forth to work until I can get the white Jeep going, and my pickup. I want to try to get my pickup going. I just have to get two front tires for it because the two front ones are old, nasty, big O tires, Mesa brand ones, El Cheapos, that like to slide across the pavement when the pavement gets wet. So I'm going to go with another set of grabbers, General Grabber brand, like I have on the back, all season high speed tires. But anyway, got to shut this light off. Got to talk to him in the email, explaining the situation about how the metallic vibrating sound while this truck's in gear and idling or going down the road at a certain RPM, it would do that noise, and then other times we'd hit a bump and it sounded like there was a piece of metal flopping up and down inside, going tink, 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 tink. Well, like I said in the other video, I showed you that almost 3-inch long crack along the factory weld on the canister, and then on the inside I found out what was causing the noise. If you look at the Cherry Bomb Vortex muffler diagram on the internet, where it shows the inside of the muffler, on each side you've got this, I don't know how thick the sheet metal is, but it's a strip probably about, I don't know, 3.5 inches wide or 4 inches wide, and then it does a wavy pattern in there on one side, and they got another piece on the other side, and it's got holes pressed out all through the sheet metal in there, and the noise is supposed to be absorbed through that into the steel wool and the fiberglass packing that they have behind it and the rest of the canister of the muffler. But anyway, at the very end of that wavy sheet metal, where it just comes up, I don't know, maybe a 1/8 of an inch or less to the inside of the canister of the muffler, what it's doing is when it heats up and cools down, or while it's operating and it gets heated up, since it's a thin piece of sheet metal, it's basically doing like this, flexing or bending or whatever you want to call it, and at certain RPMs with the heat and the airflow and whatnot, it's going and touching the inside of the canister of the muffler, the case of the muffler, and vibrating and making noise, like metal on metal noise. So I sent the email to him explaining in detail what it was doing. Maybe you won't be able to recall them. That's already out there on the market, but maybe the ones coming down the assembly line, maybe they can put an extra weld in there. Oh, and I did look down inside there with a really bright flashlight, pretty much a spotlight flashlight, and all their welds are actually look like they've been welded with a MIG welder from the factory. They're not pinch welded, so all the internal parts, every so many inches is welded with a good quality weld and not a pinch weld, so that's a plus. I think it's just that on the very ends of those strips of sheet metal in there that they need to put a 1-inch weld connecting the canister and the edge of that wavy piece of sheet metal on each side, and do it on each end of the muffler on both sides. That would cut out that rattling sound or vibrating, buzzing noise. But anyway, they were gonna send me one muffler, but I said, well, the thing is I already have this fixed. I already have the canister welded up and where that 3-inch crack is, and then I went ahead and welded the inside ends of those sheet metal, wavy sheet metal pieces to the canister on all 4 ends, 2 to 2 at the one on and 2 on the other anyway. But I said I do have because I featured this situation in my YouTube video, and that I'm reaching out to you guys and see how you want to handle this on your end for a consumer complaint. And I said I was going to buy a set of the exact same mufflers for my project Dodge D150 truck that I also feature on my YouTube channel that has true dual exhaust, because I'm tired of the Flowmasters that are on it. The Flowmasters that are on it are just basically oversized glass packs, and I just don't really care for the cackling and the popping and banging and whatnot. It's got a nice tone when it sits there and just idles, but I don't like all the cackling going down the road. And comparing it to what the single pipe muffler does, I think if I was to put duals on this truck, it would have a nice deep rumble and throatiness that I'm looking for. So they said that they would send me 2 cherry bomb mufflers of the same style, center outlet or inlet with the offset center inlet outlet. They're reversible mufflers, so they'll flow either way. Just depends on how you have your exhaust pipe set up. So they're sending me 2 of those, and I told them in response that I would promote their products and say that they went ahead and took care of a customer complaint, and then maybe hopefully in the future they will take care of that noise situation inside the muffler. So when I get the 2 mufflers, just for me, I will go inside the muffler, take the neck of the MIG welder, and I will weld a connecting weld from the ends of those sheet metal strips to the canister itself, and then install the mufflers on the pickup. So stay tuned for that video, but that's a heads up. And like I said, no drone. The drone, there's no more drone in the cab. I mean, it wasn't all the time, but it was driving down high speeds, so it would have the drone. But since I put that turn down, there's no more drone, even at idle, and it coming up at intersections and waiting to turn, stuff like that. So we still have some of the rumble when you get on it, and some rumble, higher rumble at higher speeds, passing and stuff like that on the interstates and stuff. But anyway, rambled on long enough. Stay tuned for more videos as I try to save up more money on this low budget channel to get the Valiant finished and the Dart finished, and I got to get a set of new tires for the front of the truck, my Dodge truck. I'll go with the General Grabber brand tires like I have in the back. The ones in the back are all season high speed tires, and they work great because the ones on the front are Mesa brand El Cheapos from Big O, and they are horrible. They like to slide across pavement when the pavement's wet, so I don't recommend those tires. But anyway, But the pickup truck is fixed. No more noise coming from the front of the transmission. I don't know if it just had to sit a while. Maybe there was fluid wasn't getting passed through a certain spot and it freed itself, or maybe if there was a piece where it was rubbing from the flywheel or something and it finally wore itself off. And I put it through the pace the whole 9 yards. It's not making, so it's good to go. I just got to get 2 tires on the front because they're all nasty and weather checked and everything and cracking, and get my insurance renewed on that. Be driving that, and I also want to get the Jeep fixed. And we're gonna, before fall, we're gonna get my dad's truck running again, and we're gonna be using that to be hauling wood and other stuff, and trying to save this truck here for light daily driving and in and out of town type stuff. So because it's got a short bed, and the short bed doesn't always help us out when we need to haul stuff. So anyway, till next time.